You stopped testing. I gave you an opportunity, sir, to stay out of jail. You declined that opportunity.
Imagine a judge looking you dead in the eyes and telling you you had every chance to walk free. Every single chance, and you just didn't take it. That's exactly what happened inside this courtroom. And honestly, what comes next, nobody, not even the lawyers, saw it coming. Drop a guilty if you think this judge made the right call. Keep watching, because this story gets a lot messier.
Let's go on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Justin Miller, 26722, and then the matter of 24228.
Your Honor, good morning. Richard T. Serrano, P33828, on behalf of my client, presently in custody, and he is here for arraignment only. Please state your name, sir.
Justin David Miller.
Okay, and so there's a new charge. So let's go over the new charge first, counsel.
So here's where things start to get complicated. Justin Miller isn't just here for one thing. He's got a brand new charge, fresh, being handled for the first time today. Arraignment only, plea of not guilty, standard procedure. But then there's the other case, the one where the judge had already been generous, already showed mercy, already gave him a chance most people never get. And Justin, well, Justin had some explaining to do. One case would be bad enough, but two at the same time? Tell me what you think happens next.
All right, and what was the case number on the probation position, Your Honor?
The 24228.
Thank you. As to the new charges, Your Honor, I've advised my client of the nature of the charges. He understands them. I've also advised him of all of his constitutional rights. He's signed a form regarding that. I believe you understand these matters, Your Honor. Today we wait for reading. Stand you.
The court will waive the formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment, and we will schedule this matter for pretrial.
Applicable USA law. Law violation, probation violation, Michigan Court Rules MCL 771-4. Under Michigan Compiled Law 771.4, if a probationer fails to comply with the terms and conditions of probation, including drug testing, court appearances, and compliance orders, the court may revoke probation and impose the original suspended sentence. When a judge gives you a suspended sentence, that means you don't go to jail right now, but you have conditions. Miss those conditions, the jail time you dodged comes back. All of it. Think of it like a paused video game punishment. The judge paused your 60-day sentence. You were supposed to earn your freedom by testing clean and showing up. Justin pressed pause and then walked away from the game entirely. Legal interpretation may vary by state.
June 10th you said 8:30?
8:45.
Sorry, 8:45 a.m. Okay, so then we have that bond we can address. Counsel, let's handle we also have the jail review. Since your client's in custody, he continues to blow the court off when he has a scheduled jail review. Now we can handle the jail review. Were you able to speak to your client regarding the jail review, counsel?
Yes.
Now this is where things get real. See, this wasn't just about the new charge. The judge had previously sentenced Justin to 60 days in jail, suspended, meaning held over his head, a warning, a second chance wrapped in a threat. And what did Justin do with that second chance? He ghosted the court. Completely gone. Missed his jail review on October 21st, 2024, didn't provide proof of treatment, stopped drug testing altogether, still had active warrants out. And he wasn't arrested until November of 2025. That's over a year, people. Over a year of just not showing up. He just didn't show up for over a year. Would you have the nerve to walk back into that courtroom?
I've read the documentation from the probation department. He acknowledges that he missed several tests as alleged. He's going to plead guilty to that charge, and we'll address the court afterwards.
Well, there's nothing to plead guilty to, counsel. On the jail review, this court had previously taken your client's, the court sentenced your client to
60 days jail suspended.
60 days jail suspended, to defendant to continue testing, clear up warrants, and comply with Third Circuit Court probation. And well, let's just say this, that as of December 2nd, your client had failed to appear for the jail review. And that was back in October 21st of 24. And then he was finally arrested November of 25, had not provided proof of treatment. Your client stopped testing and then still has warrants. So now he's arrested on a new case in Wyandotte here.
All correct.
All right. And so as to the recommendation that your client serve the 60 days jail, counsel, what should I know?
Well, Your Honor, I'd like to know how many days credit he has, if any. So because he's acknowledging that he did do those things, he did say that he had a lot going on. So many other clients do say he does not have any other matters pending.
So the defense attorney steps up, and look, you could tell he knew this wasn't going to be easy. He asks about jail credit, mentioned his client acknowledged missing the tests, said Justin had a lot going on, suggested maybe community service. And honestly, the judge's reaction to that suggestion was not what the defense was hoping for. That's not something this court is thinking of. Absolutely not. But then the judge does something interesting. She turns directly to Justin, not the lawyer, Justin. She asks him point blank, "Did you complete your probation from the other court?" The lawyer tried his best, but what Justin says next, you just can't make this up. Stay with me.
So we leave it in the court's discretion, Your Honor. Naturally, we would like some type of alternative other than straight jail time, but I told my client, when you don't appear or abide by the court's orders, you more or less put yourself in jail. That would leave it in the court's discretion.
All right. Well, what type of alternative is it that you are seeking for your client, counsel?
Well, he mentioned something about the community service, things of that nature, since he's a plumber assistant now, Your Honor. He's single, supports no minor children, lives with his father. He's 31 years old, not on probation or parole. As I mentioned, nothing pending other than the warrants that he has to clear up, which he said if he gets out, he's going to address those. Other than that, Your Honor, we leave in the court's discretion. You can do community service or something of that nature.
Oh, that's not an alternative this court's thinking of. Absolutely not. Mr. Miller, did you complete your probation in Third Circuit Court?
Yes, I completed my felony probation. That's one thing I did get to do. That was just overwhelming. I'm sorry. I had about the miscommunication, but I did complete my felony probation.
What was the miscommunication, sir?
That you guys didn't hear from me. I forgot about the bond violation issue.
Sir, you didn't forget about us. You completely ghosted us. This
I
court.
probably got scared when I heard the 60 days or something. Or,
What?
I said I probably had got afraid. I remember about the 60 days or something.
And here, right here, this is the moment. Justin Miller standing in front of a judge, trying to explain why he disappeared over a year. And his answer? He said he was scared. Scared of the 60 days. Now, I'm not going to be harsh. Fear is real. We've all been scared of consequences. But the judge, she was not letting that slide. She said, and I want you to really hear this, she said, "Sir, you didn't forget about us. You completely ghosted us." And then she asked the question that changes everything. If you test right now, what's in your system? Justin paused, and then he answered. Fear made him run. Fear made him hide, but fear couldn't help him now. What would you have said in that moment?
Sorry.
Gotten afraid of the 60 days?
I think that's what I was, or that was alleged, or that was the term, or if I kept messing up.
Sir, I'm sorry, but you're confusing me. Did you forget about us, or were you in fear of serving your 60 days? Which is it?
I had fear and I had a lot going on just with my living situation. Man.
Sir, having a lot going on is not a valid reason to blow off the court. Many people have a lot going on. I'm not sure if a lot going on was the continued drug charges that you were getting, or what, sir? If you test right now, what's in your system?
I believe nothing. I smoked marijuana. I smoked the marijuana probably a few weeks ago, so I don't know if that'll still be in my system. Other than that, nothing.
Justin said, and I quote, "I believe nothing. I smoked marijuana probably a few weeks ago." A few weeks ago. And then the judge calmly, almost quietly, told him what was in the police report. That the night before, Justin had been pulled over while driving, which he wasn't allowed to, and had told the officer he had just finished smoking marijuana with someone in a car the night before court. Now, think about that for a second. He came into court the next morning and told the judge he hadn't smoked in weeks. The judge already knew. He lied to the judge's face. The judge already had the report. This is the part where it all falls apart.
I'm off all my other, I'm off all 9 no more probations. I completed them. I've been just trying to do right for the most part, trying to straighten out my license.
Well, sir, it appears though, per the police report, that you made a statement that you had just gotten done smoking marijuana with somebody over an e-course when you were driving, which you're not allowed to drive anyway. And so apparently there would be marijuana in your system from last night. But here's what this court's going to do, sir. You've done 0 as to what this court ordered. 0.
The judge had heard enough. And when a judge says the word 0 twice, you know exactly where this is heading. She laid it out plainly. No drug testing, no treatment proof, active warrants, missed jail reviews, a new charge on top of everything. And then she said it. "I gave you an opportunity, sir, to stay out of jail. You declined that opportunity. Not once, not twice. You kept declining it every single time. You declined that opportunity." 4 words that summed up everything. Do you think the judge was too harsh or not harsh enough? Comment below.
You stopped testing. I gave you an opportunity, sir, to stay out of jail. You declined that opportunity, and you continue to decline that opportunity because you continue to ghost us and not even appear. So therefore, this court's going to order that your client is going to serve the 60 days jail on the jail review. Let me see here.
And there it was, 60 days in custody, with credit for 8 days already served, leaving 52 days remaining. $1,000 cash bond on the new case. No alcohol, no drugs, no driving. Which, honestly, given that he was already going to be in custody for the next 2 months, shouldn't be too hard to follow. The judge closed the case calmly. No yelling, no drama, just justice. Quiet, final, deserved. Justice served. But was it fair? Let me know your verdict in the comments.
Credit for time served, right?
Well, so, counsel, let's see.
He was arrested.
March 5th of 24, he was in custody. And then it appears as though March 13th of 24, bond was posted. And then your client was released from custody. So that would be 8 days. And sir, let me just be very clear. I didn't even give you additional terms other than continue your testing and comply with your Third Circuit Court probation. I didn't give you probation terms to follow or anything of that nature. And you completely, sir, completely just blew everything off with this court.
Sorry, I think I was focused on my it was hard to get off that other probation. I'm sorry.
And look, here's my honest take. The judge gave Justin Miller every possible chance. She didn't pile on probation conditions. She didn't ask him to do anything complicated. She basically said, just test clean and show up. That's it. And he couldn't do it. Now, I'm not here to judge Justin as a person. Life gets hard, circumstances get overwhelming, fear is real. But the court system is built on accountability, and when you ghost a judge for over a year, then show up and try to explain it away, there's only one way that ends. If you made it this far, you already know what kind of channel this is. Real cases, real judges, real consequences. Drop a comment. Do you think 60 days was fair, or should the judge have given him one more shot? And if you want more courtroom breakdowns like this one, subscribe, because we're just getting started. See you in the next case. Subscribe for weekly real courtroom breakdowns. Justice never takes a day off.